So that part of I don't need to talk to people, so therefore I chose a profession where I don't have to talk to people, that's gone. Everybody now needs to talk to somebody. And hiding behind texting and WhatsApp and all the other messaging apps, sometimes guess what? You have to listen to somebody's voice on the other side
Well,
and
so
engage
Andre,
with them.
the thing about messaging and even this type of contact that we're having now, I call that 2D communication, right? Because you
Well,
anytime you're
absolutely it
trying,
is.
yeah, it's two dimensional, right? You don't smell the person and look at them in the eyes and shake their hand and feel them. There's no touch involved. We're very tactile creatures, right? We've grown up that way in very small tribes where we could get close to people. And you can meet somebody and give them a clap on the back and say, hey, it's great to meet you, and you really form a rapport very quickly. Whereas over Zoom or worse, text message, LinkedIn DMs, you're just pixels on a screen. So it becomes increasingly difficult to communicate the more layers of signal you take away.
I was just talking to somebody, actually, I just met last week from Ireland. He does nonverbal communication cues like body language, facial expressions, what has not been said. And there is a science behind all this, apparently. I've heard about it, but I'm not intimately familiar with it, as to how do you decode, this nonverbal cues. And that's part of the listening, by the way. Listening and observing, right? So I mean, I'm sure you're going to correct me on this one. So you listen to the words, what people are saying, but you also need to look at, how they're reacting to what you're saying. In terms of, you walk into a meeting, you start doing a presentation. And I've been there. Trust me, I've got scenarios for every one of them. I've been there doing a presentation, and everybody at the boardroom is nodding. I mean, nodding meaning they're sleeping, literally sleeping. I caught two people sleeping, and it's too long of a presentation, man. It's like you need to move on now. So yes, there are those situations where you need to look for body language. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one.
Yeah. So body language is interesting because as a field, it's there's a lot of fine tuning. There's a lot of details, and the fine
Hmm.
details that you need to pay attention to. I tend not to teach body language to the people that I coach for a number of reasons. Mostly because there are two ways to get really good at. I mean, I don't think that having interpreting body language as a skill is something that my founders need. They don't need to look at the body language on a fine grained detail of the people that they're sitting across from, right? We know more or less what the major body language signals look like. We know when somebody's not paying attention or they're nervous, that kind of thing we get. What's more relevant for my founders is the body language they're giving off to other people. Now, I could train them in that, but what
Hmm.
I'm wary of is the more I give them to think about while they're talking, the less they're connecting. The more they're thinking about, am I touching my neck? Am I crossing my hands? Are my palms open or not? Am I displaying my vitals? Am I not displaying? And then they're not thinking about, how do I connect with Robin? So my approach is much more, look, let's fix the body language by fixing what causes the body language, the nervousness, the the nervous system which is out of whack, uh, adrenaline and norepinephrine that are flooding your system. Let's deal with the underlying issues of why it is that you're nervous and you're protecting yourself and you're rocking back and or whatever it is, right? Or you're shifting your eyes. Then everything else will take care of itself.